The Middle Ages, also known as the medieval period, spanned roughly from the 5th to the 15th centuries. This era witnessed the fall of the Western Roman Empire and the emergence of new powers in Europe. It was a time of great change and upheaval, marked by war, famine and disease, but also by cultural and intellectual achievements. This essay will journey through the rise and fall of major empires in medieval Europe, shedding light on their lasting impact. The early Middle Ages, roughly from 500 to 1000 AD, were characterized by the fragmentation of the former Roman Empire into smaller kingdoms. These kingdoms were often at war with each other, and there was little sense of unity or stability. The late Middle Ages, roughly from 1000 to 1500 AD, saw the rise of powerful monarchies and the growth of towns and cities. This period was also marked by the Crusades, a series of religious wars fought between Christians and Muslims. The medieval period was a time of great faith and religious devotion. The Catholic Church was a powerful force in society, and its teachings influenced all aspects of life. Monasteries were centers of learning and culture, and they played an important role in preserving knowledge during this time. The medieval world may seem distant, but its legacies continue to shape our world today. From the legal systems to the languages we speak, the echoes of medieval empires resonate through history. Understanding their stories helps us grasp the complexities of the past and their enduring influence on the present. From the ashes of the Western Roman Empire, a new power emerged in Western Europe, the Carolingian Empire. This Frankish dynasty, under the leadership of Charles Martel and his son Pepin the Short, laid the foundation for a vast empire. However, it was Charlemagne, Pepin's son, who would come to define this era. Crowned Emperor of the Romans by Pope Leo III in 800 AD, Charlemagne inherited a realm already expanding, yet his reign saw unprecedented military success, subduing the Saxons in the east, the Lombards in Italy, and the Avars in the southeast. His empire, encompassing much of modern-day France, Germany, Italy, and the Low Countries, was a force to be reckoned with. Charlemagne was not just a warrior king, he was a devout Christian and a patron of learning. He instituted administrative reforms, standardized weights and measures, and fostered a Carolingian Renaissance, a period of intellectual and cultural revival. He mandated education for the clergy, established schools, and encouraged the copying of manuscripts, preserving classical knowledge. However, the vastness of the Carolingian Empire also sowed the seeds of its decline. Maintaining control over such a large territory proved challenging. Internal divisions among Charlemagne's successors, coupled with external threats, would eventually fracture the empire. Yet Charlemagne's legacy lived on, as his reign became a model for later rulers, and his empire laid the groundwork for the development of future European powers. In the 10th century, as the Carolingian Empire faded, a new power arose in its wake: the Holy Roman Empire. This empire, centered in Germany and Italy, would dominate Central Europe for centuries. Its founder, Otto I, crowned emperor in 962 AD, sought to revive the legacy of Charlemagne and establish a Christian empire. The Holy Roman Empire, however, differed significantly from its predecessor. It was a more decentralized entity, a patchwork of kingdoms, duchies, and bishoprics, all owing allegiance to the emperor. The emperor's power was not absolute. He had to contend with powerful nobles and church officials. Despite internal divisions, the Holy Roman Empire experienced periods of strength and unity. Emperors like Henry III and Frederick Barbarossa exerted their authority over rebellious vassals and expanded the empire's influence. They engaged in conflicts with the papacy over investiture rights, a dispute concerning the appointment of church officials. The Holy Roman Empire played a crucial role in shaping the political landscape of Central Europe. It fostered trade, encouraged cultural exchange, and provided a counterbalance to the papacy. However, its decentralized nature and internal struggles ultimately contributed to its gradual decline. By the late Middle Ages, the Holy Roman Empire was a shadow of its former self, a complex web of competing principalities. While the Carolingian and Holy Roman Empires dominated mainland Europe, another force emerged from the north, the Vikings. Originating from Scandinavia, these skilled seafarers and warriors struck fear into the hearts of coastal communities. Their longships, capable of navigating rivers and seas, allowed them to raid and plunder far and wide. The Viking Age, spanning roughly from the late 8th to the 11th centuries, witnessed Viking raids on England, Ireland, France, and even parts of the Mediterranean. They looted monasteries, extorted towns, and took captives as slaves. However, the Vikings were not merely raiders. They were also traders, explorers, and settlers. Vikings established settlements in Iceland, Greenland, and even North America centuries before Columbus. They founded cities like Dublin in Ireland and York in England. In Normandy, France, Viking settlers assimilated into the local population, eventually giving rise to the Norman dynasty that would conquer England in 1066. The Vikings' impact on medieval Europe was profound. They challenged existing political structures, stimulated trade, and left a lasting cultural legacy. Their sagas and myths continue to fascinate, and their seafaring prowess expanded the boundaries of the known world. The Viking Age marked a period of violence and upheaval, but also of exploration, innovation, and cultural exchange. The Carolingian Empire, once a beacon of unity and strength under Charlemagne, faced a steady decline following his death in 814 AD. Internal divisions and external pressures chipped away at the empire's foundations, leading to its eventual fragmentation. Charlemagne's heirs fought amongst themselves for control of the vast empire. The Treaty of Verdun in 843 AD divided the Carolingian realm amongst his grandsons, creating three kingdoms that roughly correspond to modern-day France, Germany, and Italy. This division formalized the fracturing of Charlemagne's empire. External threats further weakened the Carolingians. Viking raids, relentless and brutal, targeted wealthy monasteries and coastal settlements. These raids instilled fear and disrupted trade, weakening the empire's economy. The Carolingians struggled to repel these invaders, their once formidable military might now fragmented and weakened. The decline of the Carolingian Empire was not a sudden collapse, but rather a gradual erosion of power and unity. By the early 10th century, the Carolingian dynasty had been replaced by other ruling families in most of their former territories. The legacy of Charlemagne, however, lived on, serving as a model for future rulers and shaping the political landscape of Europe. The Holy Roman Empire, successor to the Carolingian legacy, faced its own set of challenges that ultimately led to its decline. Unlike its predecessor's rapid disintegration, the Holy Roman Empire's decline was a slow and complex process spanning centuries. Internal conflicts played a major role in weakening the empire. The very structure of the Holy Roman Empire, a decentralized patchwork of kingdoms, duchies, and bishoprics, bred competition and rivalry. Powerful nobles vied for power, often challenging the emperor's authority. Disputes over succession, territories, and resources were commonplace. External pressures further strained the empire. Conflicts with the papacy over investiture rights, the power to appoint bishops and other church officials dominated much of the 11th and 12th centuries. These conflicts drained the empire's resources and undermined its authority. The rise of powerful kingdoms on its borders, such as France and England, also posed a constant threat. The Black Death, a devastating plague that swept through Europe in the 14th century, dealt a further blow to the Holy Roman Empire. The plague decimated the population, disrupted trade, and weakened the empire's already strained resources. While the Holy Roman Empire continued to exist in name until the 19th century, by the late Middle Ages it was a shadow of its former self, a loose confederation of principalities rather than a unified empire. The Viking Age, a period of raiding, exploration and settlement, gradually came to an end by the 11th century. Several factors contributed to this transformation, including the Christianization of Scandinavia, the consolidation of power in Scandinavia and the rest of Europe, and the changing climate. The adoption of Christianity by Viking rulers played a significant role in pacifying their raids on Christian communities. As Vikings integrated into the Christian world, their raiding activities diminished. The consolidation of power in Scandinavia, with the emergence of strong kingdoms in Denmark, Norway, and Sweden, also helped to curb Viking expansion. In the rest of Europe, the rise of powerful monarchies, like those in England and France, created stronger defenses against Viking incursions. European kingdoms also began to adopt Viking shipbuilding and military techniques, making them more effective at resisting Viking attacks. Furthermore, a gradual warming of the climate in the North Atlantic region made it less favorable for Viking voyages and settlements in places like Greenland. The end of the Viking Age marked a period of relative peace and stability in Europe. It allowed for the development of stronger kingdoms, the growth of trade, and the flourishing of culture and learning. The medieval empires, though long gone, left lasting legacies that continue to shape Europe and the world today. Their impact can be seen in the political landscape, legal systems, languages, art, architecture, and even our very sense of identity. The Carolingian Empire, despite its relatively short lifespan, left an indelible mark on European history. Charlemagne's reign established a model for rulership that influenced later monarchs. The Carolingian Renaissance, a period of intellectual and cultural revival, helped preserve classical knowledge and laid the groundwork for future cultural flourishing. The Holy Roman Empire, though decentralized and often fraught with internal conflict, played a crucial role in shaping Central Europe. It fostered trade, encouraged cultural exchange, and provided a counterbalance to the papacy. Its legacy can be seen in the political fragmentation of Germany and Italy, as well as in the rich cultural heritage of the region. The Vikings, once feared raiders, left their mark on the languages, cultures, and even the gene pool of Europe. Their explorations expanded the boundaries of the known world and established trade routes that connected Scandinavia to the rest of Europe and beyond. From the legal systems to the languages we speak, the echoes of medieval empires resonate through history. Understanding their stories helps us grasp the complexities of the past and their enduring influence on the present. The medieval period, often perceived as a dark age, was a time of great change, upheaval, and transformation. The rise and fall of empires, the clash of cultures, and the enduring power of faith shaped the course of European history. The Carolingian Empire under Charlemagne provided a brief but brilliant flicker of unity and revival in Western Europe. The Holy Roman Empire, though decentralized, dominated Central Europe for centuries, leaving a lasting impact on the political and cultural landscape. The Vikings, once feared raiders, emerged as explorers, traders, and settlers, leaving an indelible mark on the languages, cultures, and even the gene pool of Europe. The medieval world may seem distant, but its legacies continue to shape our world today. From the legal systems to the languages we speak, the echoes of medieval empires resonate through history. Understanding their stories helps us grasp the complexities of the past and their enduring influence on the present. The medieval period, far from being a stagnant dark age, was a vibrant and dynamic era that laid the foundation for the modern world.